Hey everybody, welcome back to TechOdyssey, and today I'm here to talk about everybody's favorite new phone, the Samsung Galaxy Z Flip 3. I've had this for 3 days now, so we'll call this the 72-hour review, for those of you who are much better at math than I am. We'll call it 3 days. I like it a lot. I still have my reservations about the battery. I've not had the best battery life, but this is something that you're all going to experience right now. I've seen a lot of comments, a lot of feedback from people saying they're worried about it. And that's something we're going to talk about further in this video. Don't worry too much yet. There's still a lot going on behind the scenes that's going to determine how much better your battery life is actually going to get. But I like it. Camera is nice. The haptic feedback I've been enjoying typing on. I like the screen. I like the updated screen protector that's on here. I love the new form factor. I have a lot of really nice things that I like about it. There are some things that I don't like a whole lot, but it's nothing that really makes it where I'm like, okay, yeah, it's kind of irritating. But there are some things I do want to discuss that I think maybe could be a little bit better. But overall, I like the phone a lot, and we're going to talk about it. And before we get into that, I do want to say if this is your first time stopping by the channel, thank you for being here. If you enjoyed the video, please hit the like and the subscribe button, and the little notification bell if you want updates when new videos come out. Let's talk about the Z Flip 3. They say that you should be the change that you want to see in the world, so I'm going to try to quit calling it the Z Flip 3 5G. We'll just call it the Z Flip 3. I think that's better, and mostly joking. I've been talking about this for days. Z Flip 3. The flippiest phone of the flip phones yet. I like it a lot, and I made a video called I Like the Z Flip 3, so it's not like that's a surprise to most people, but if you're a new viewer stopping by, there's a lot of reasons why I like it. One, I love the 120 hertz refresh rate. Love it, I love it, I love it. Like Mary Catherine Gallagher on the old Saturday Night Live. Now, it's super nice. 6.7 inch full 1080p plus display. It is the bee's knees. I love how smooth it is. It's super nice and smooth, especially when you're doing things like scrolling through your Twitter feed and your Instagram feed. It's nice. I like it. I've been waiting for this for a long time. It's kind of tied into one of the issues with the phone, though. Battery life ain't so great, and I'm hoping it's going to get better. Largely, the first probably 5 days of the phone is still learning your routines. Like if you actually go to the battery section on your phone, it'll tell you this. So you go to the battery section in your phone, settings, and then we're going to go to battery. It says right here, learning usage patterns. Your phone is learning how you use your phone. It's learning how you use the apps. It's learning what your different habits are and stuff so that it can selectively turn things on and turn things off that it doesn't need or doesn't need all the time. That in turn gives you a better battery experience. So it takes some time. This is something where the first day, yes, people were saying my phone's getting hot, it's getting warm. Is that something I should be concerned about? No, that's perfectly normal. Mine did that too. It's running the processor a lot, and a lot of the stuff that makes the battery better, the Snapdragon 888 is supposed to be about 20-25% better on power efficiency and battery life. A lot of that has to do with the AI enhancements, with the machine learning and learning your usage patterns and how your phone works and operates. What you do with your phone determines how it behaves sometimes. So all of that stuff really does go a long way. It does. Now, if you're just sitting there all the time with your screen open and you've got Twitter rolling, you got stuff going on in the background, the screen brightness is at 100%, basically if you're me, the battery life is probably never going to be that great for you. I am anticipating once my battery levels out, I'm expecting to get about 3.5 to 3 hours and 45 minutes of screen on time. But I expect it to get basically through a day as long as I'm not using it heavily. Now, today I've been using it, and as far as my battery goes, I got, let's see here, 15 hours and 44 minutes that the phone has been on since I unplugged it, and I've gotten 3 hours and 14 minutes of screen on time with 15% battery left. I think that's okay. It's not the greatest in the world. If I could get 4 hours out of this, I would largely consider it a success. The Z Flip 5G, mind you, I only got about 4 hours of screen on time anyway. Usually around 3 hours and 45 minutes to 4 hours. And it didn't have a lot of the stuff. It didn't have the extra speaker in it. It didn't have the bigger external display. It didn't have the 120 hertz refresh rate. And it didn't have a Snapdragon 888. So if I can get about the same battery life, I largely call that a win, because if they can add those things on there and still maintain the status quo from last year, that's largely a success in my book. Now, you're not going to get a tremendous amount of screen on time out of this. You're not going to get a tremendous amount of battery life. This phone, and I've said this before, is going to be basically a sun up to sundown phone. If you need something other than sun up to sundown before you can find a charger, this might not be the phone for you. Or you might have to make some sacrifices. You might have to keep a wireless charger at home or at the office. You might have to keep a battery bank around. That's just part of life whenever you have this phone. Now, some people are like, it's a $1,000 phone. It shouldn't have those issues. It's not an issue. It just only has 3,300 milliamps of battery. There's only so much lemon juice you can squeeze out of a lemon. There's only so much you can do. Now, when you have a larger phone like the S21 Ultra that has a 5,000 milliamp battery, if that's getting 4.5 hours of battery and screen on time, that's very problematic because that's a huge battery. There's something going on there. When you have a 3,300 milliamp battery that gets you 4 hours of screen on time and lasts you all day, that's just what you're going to get. Now, if you get like 2.5 or 3 hours, I would be very troubled and concerned by that, because if you can't keep your screen on for more than 3 hours a day or 2 hours and 45 minutes a day on a phone, yeah, that's just not a lot. Now, here, there's some ways you can mitigate that. I'm going to make a complete separate video on how to get better battery life so you can optimize your phone and get the best battery life possible. I'm going to tell you all about it. That's not what this video is about. But some people are concerned about that. I didn't want to spend this much time talking about it, but there you have it. Now, one thing I also like about the phone is this bigger display. Now, you can set it up, you can tap on it once and it'll pull up the clock. You can double tap on it and then you can engage with it. There we go. And you can go to your different widgets and you can go to your different notification stuff. It's really nice. I like it. It's got your Samsung Health, it's got your weather, it's got all sorts of fancy things in there. I think they did a good job with that. It's much better than the smaller one on the Z Flip 5G. I wish that it were more interactive. I wish that you could use it to like reply to text messages, at least smart replies. Smart replies would be nice. I would like to at least have that, but we don't. Maybe they can add that somehow with a software update later. So, I like that. I love the new form factor. It's really cool. Now, is there that much of a difference between the old one and this one when you have it in the case? Not tremendously. You can tell that there's a difference there, but as far as quality constructions and stuff, they're both built really well. So I like what they did hardware-wise. I like the extra power under the hood. You're not going to realize it most of the time. I mean, most of the time your phone is not running with the prime core doing everything. If it were, then that's when you're getting bad battery life. If you're doing things where your processor is running at max speed all the time, that's going to degrade your battery quickly. And you're going to get that doing things like recording video, with especially like 4K content, with playing intensive video games. If you notice your phone is starting to warm up some, that means it's time to start thinking about what you need to do to cool it off by turning off your high intensity games. This is not a gaming phone, and it doesn't even have a good aspect ratio for gaming. Look how thin the phone is. It's thin and it's long. So if you take it and you try to play games, you can play games just fine. Don't let me dissuade you from doing that. You can play games perfectly fine on this phone. It's just not a really big wide screen, and it doesn't have the battery life really to support it. So that's not what it's intended for. It's a nice commuter phone. It's great as a day-to-day. Really, I think people enjoy it a lot. I've been seeing so much stuff on the internet about people. I love it. It's amazing. It's awesome. I'm feeling pretty good about that video I made saying it's going to be the phone of the year. We'll address this later on, but I've got a lot of people that I see that are really just saying great things about it. The sales are through the roof. Just the new foldables alone over in South Korea on launch, 900,000 devices, like I think the first day or the first weekend. And on top of that, 70% of them were the Flip. This phone is selling like hotcakes. It's selling like flipping flapjacks. And I think that that's great because I think that this phone is going to be great for a lot of people. A lot of people do not use their phone as intensively as I do. So I think most people, this is going to be an all-day phone. I think it's going to get you from sun up to sundown, maybe a couple hours in the evening. Throw it on a charger when you get home. Throw it on a charger after dinner time. That should be about the only time you have to charge it. Now, the phone can only recharge at 15 watts, and a lot of people seem to think that's troubling. No 25, no 30, no 35 watts. That would be nice. It would recharge really fast, but here's the thing. When you charge at higher charging rates, there's more heat transfer, and I think that it can degrade battery performance over time. If you only have 3,300 milliamps, you can't be sparing a whole lot of milliamps. You can't be losing a bunch of battery cells over time. You need all those that you can get. This is not like a 5,000 milliamp battery where you can lose a couple of brain cells, so to speak, and still be all right. This one, 3,300 milliamps, if you start killing those off and get to 80% battery life within a year or two, you're really, really going to feel that in day-to-day performance. So that's, I think, why. And also, it's not a very big battery. It doesn't take a tremendous amount of time to refill. If you have a 5,000 milliamp battery, it's going to take you a long time to recharge at 15 watts. So you want a higher charging rate. With a 3300, it's still not going to take you a whole lot, even with like Quick Charge 3.0 or whatever it is. So I'm not overly worried about it. It would be nice if you could recharge it faster, but at the end of the day, I think that's really the reasons why they did it. I love the stereo speakers. It makes for such an enjoyable phone experience. It's so nice when you're playing games, when you're watching video, when you're listening to music. Really a big upgrade that really ties in the experience and makes it so much better than the last one. So the two things, as somebody who used the Z Flip 5G extensively last year, the two biggest upgrades for me are the stereo speakers and also having that 120 hertz refresh rate. It just makes it feel so much more flagship, so much more premium. And I guess last but not least, the other thing I really like is the price. I like not having to spend $1,400 plus to get one of these phones. I spent $1,449. I bought the other one last year. I didn't think anyway. I saw the rumors originally saying it was going to be a $999 phone. I didn't believe it. I didn't believe it at all. So the fact that they were able to do that really tells me that they're really trying to make this a massively adopted phone. They really want to get these out in the streets in people's hands, and I can see why. It's a really fun phone. And I've been talking, like I said, to a lot of people. The resounding echo I see on Twitter is, I love it, I love it, I love it. It's great, it's amazing. It is such a good phone. So if it weren't for the battery issue, this phone would be like unstoppable. I don't think anybody would complain about it at all. I don't know any complaints about this phone other than the crease. People keep talking about the crease. It's there when you get the phone. As soon as you start using it, this crease is going to be here. It's just part of life. It's there. It doesn't really get worse. It pretty much stays the same. And that's just because the phone goes like this. The screen folds in on itself. So if you take a piece of paper, you fold it in half, you open it back up, there's a crease there. That's the same principle whenever it comes to this screen. It's not bad. It's not an indicator that there's anything wrong with your screen or that it's going to be problematic long term. That's just how it is. That's how we get the folding technology. So if you like the folding phone, that's kind of the way it works right now until they come up with something better. So that's all I've got. I think it's a really solid phone. I'm still testing out the battery life. I was happy I got over 3 hours of screen on time today. I got over 15 hours of actual time off the charger. That's a good indicator to me it's going to last all day. Now, how long it lasts while you're using it, I got to wait for the battery to settle. I got to wait for it to learn my routines. This is something we're going to talk about later, and I'm going to make another video telling you how to get the best battery life out of it. Please stay tuned to watch that one later. So that's all I've got. If you have any questions or comments, please feel free to leave them down in the comment section. I'll get back with you. If you enjoy the video, please hit the like and the subscribe button and the little notification bell if you want updates when new videos come out. And as always, thanks for being here. I appreciate you watching, and I will see you next time.